gather together in a virtual meeting. We may be able to meet virtually by department, but as a whole school, this is our first time. We are so grateful with our IMZ supervisor for sparing his Zoom slot for us. So to Sir J. Roferos, thank you very much. A number of important matters will be discussed, so I hope you will stay attuned for the whole day activity. On behalf of the school administration, I welcome you all to this, our first virtual meeting, and I hope that this activity for this day will be meaningful and fruitful. Welcome, God bless, stay safe always. Thank you. Once again, good morning.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Esther A. Omongos. A virtual clap for our senior high school principal too. This point in time, we are now going to hear the message from our instructional mentoring zone supervisor. Please welcome the EPS 1 in MAPE, Mr. J.B. Roferos.
Hello, good morning. You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Okay. My morning greetings to our active and very competent MONHS Principal 4, Sir Florentino R. Santos Jr., our Senior High School Principal 2, Ma'am Esther Omongos,
Good morning.
Assistant Principal, Department Heads, fellow educators in the Department of Education. Once again, a pleasant morning to one and all. I hope that
Morning.
everybody is okay, and let's keep on boosting our immune system. As your IMC supervisor, I am glad that we are all together virtually to discuss the different DepEd orders and division memoranda, which are very significant and beneficial in doing our mandates as instructional leaders and educators. In this new normal amidst the pandemic, I believe that good communication plays an essential role to ensure success of our responsibility in continuing the delivery of basic education to our learners, our vida. Effective communication involves knowing how to listen attentively. This will also help our school leaders and department heads in developing good relationship with our teachers. Let me share to you the 7 benefits of effective communication in a professional setting. First, it fosters trust with each other. Second, it prevents or resolves problems. Third, it provides clarity and directions where instructional leaders will deliver clear expectations and objectives to our teachers. Fourth, it creates better relationships. Fifth, it increases engagement because everybody feels confident in doing his or her task or work. Six, it improves productivity because everyone understands their roles and tasks. And the last one, it promotes team building. So it is expected that everybody is helping each other in order to provide quality education to our learners. Today's virtual meeting that discusses the department issuances elucidates effective communication in a professional setting. My gratitude to Sir Santos for having this kay sa DepEd Oroqueta Si Bata ang Bida. Thank you and once again, good morning.
Thank you so much, Sir J. B. Roferos. That was a very inspiring message there. Let us boost ourselves, everyone, so that we can hopefully have the grasp of the entire session for the whole day. And before we are going to go to our first session for this morning, let's have the pre-test first. Okay. So this pre-test will be having a 10-item test based on the DepEd orders and the division memorandums that we're going to tackle. The top three will be given the prize courtesy from our principals. Top three will be given a load of 100 pesos. Okay, so I have there posted on the chat box the link. Kindly click it now and join. I'll give you 1 minute to join. Okay, tell me if you already have joined the quiz. Uh-huh. Finish na. Okay, let's resume the game first because it was not formed into a playing game. Go to quizzes.com and then you can use any device and then enter the game code. Okay, I'll flash it on the screen. Can you see now the screen? You have there the game code 4031525. Please join. I'll give you 60 seconds to join to enter the game. Top three will be given 100 pesos load. Tungaon nila ang 100. Tungaon nila, Ma'am Ace. Bitaw. Each of you will be given 100 peso load. Courtesy from Mrs. Nika Nora Limpahan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Nika. Okay, how many are joining? 13, 15. Pwede ba daw ma-appeal ang head teachers? Okay, this quiz is a test of accuracy and speed, and the speed also of your internet. Okay, so we have 29. We are all 190 in attendance here in the Zoom. So, up to na to og mga 50. So, 31 are joining. Okay. 40, 41, at least 50 or 100. Sam Simbahon is here. Ma'am Renzel, Ma'am Robespierre. Okay, we are all 49. 50. Going to 51. 53. Okay, some more. 54, 57. When it reaches to 60, we shall start. 58, 59. Some more. It's 60. Okay, so let's start now. No cheating. On the lead is Ma'am Marian Vic. Who won? We have Miss Minchin. Who is Ma'am Minchin? Kindly rename your names to the original ones. Bisag apelido lang. Okay, Miss Minchin is Ma'am Melo. Yes, Ma'am Melo Rismendadano of the Senior High School Department. Yay! How about the other departments? Okay, so please claim your prize to me. Okay, mang-solicit pa tani, Ma'am Nika Limpahan. Thank you so much, Ma'am Nika. Okay, so since we have the pre-test, so later on we will have our post-test also. So just relax and listen because this time we are going to sorry. So that was Michelle Grace Inding na. Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Desiree Apao. That was Ma'am Michelle Grace Inding. Dami palang Miss Minchin dito, no? Thank you so much, Ma'am Michelle Grace Inding. Kindly claim your prize later on. Okay. So right this time, we are going to be ready for our session 1, which will be on Department Order number 30. But before that, let's have some updates first coming from our secondary school principal for Mr. Florentino R. Santos Jr. Virtual clap, please. Di ko naka...
Oh. Oh, Ran. Okay. Good na ko, Ran. Okay, good morning, everyone. Madungog ko. Okay. Good morning. Okay, kumusta man mo? Hmm? Ha? Kumusta? Ha? Sige. Dugay na tayo nakita pero miss you. Pero sa mga adlaw-adlaw natong panarbaho, kaluoy sa Dios, strong and healthy ang atong MONHS community. Pasalamat tas Ginoo nga gitagaan kitag saktong kahimsog aron maka silbita sa ato ang mga learners, stakeholders, and parents. Okay. Good news sa ta. Number one, naatay ma-receive nga 500 pesos medical exam na for medical exam. O adto ta magpakuha og sugar sa libre na makasave na tas 500. Second is by second week or third week of November, we will be receiving our year-end bonus. No? Not earlier than November 15. Then another update is that we have our new Assistant Schools Division Superintendent, person of Dr. Roberto Dinaperi Jr., Public Schools District Supervisor of coming from Iligan City Division, and he's our OIC ASDS. Second is that we have, at last, we have our new medical officer for Oroquita City Division in the person of Dr. Victor Lorenz Bisas from Iligan City. Okay. Updates on enrollment. As of today, for grade 7, we have 771. For grade 8, 971. For grade 9, 985. Grade 10, 1,041. A total of 3,768 for junior high school, and for senior high school, grade 11, 958, grade 12, 903, a total of 1,861, or grand total enrollment of 5,629. We have 4 learning modalities that is being implemented in our school. We have the printed modular, we have the online, the offline, and RBI. We are very thankful to you teachers because you're able to deliver and convince our parents, our learners to their parents of shifting to another modality because of some reasons. We are planning if ever there will be shifting, no? More shifting of learners to other modalities, hopefully we can have the 1:1 module per learner. As of today, di pa yun kaya for the reason that we only have one risograph machine, which we are running out of supply of ink. Wag available. No problem with bond papers. We are also very happy because some of you have personal printers, no? Being used in the reproduction, and you just inform your respective head teachers, principal and assistant principal if you need the ink. hopefully, the new risograph machine to be donated by our supportive Congressman Diego T, will be arriving soon. This morning or today, the division office shared to us thousands of reams of bond paper and ink. No, 3 boxes. We received 3 boxes yesterday to be used for the reproduction of learning materials. And hopefully during the second quarter, problem on the reproduction will be minimized because as of today, the conformance review team is in session so that starting second quarter, ma-minimize na nato ang number of sheets per module. Nanikamot yun ang Department of Education nga dili mabugatan kitang tanan. Okay? I will not be sharing anymore to you the number of learners per modality. No? Okay, some reminders on COVID-19. There's a need for us to wear face mask, face shield, washing of hands with soap and water, sanitize with 70% alcohol. There's a need also to disinfect our respective classrooms and modules. That's why we are giving you 2 hand sprayers, 1 for alcohol and 1 for the disinfectant. I hope that you are using those 2 hand sprayers, and if ever nahurot na ang sulod, then approach any personnel from the supply office for refill. Kung mahimo, di nataan ng crowded places, even in our own school. There's a need for us to maintain physical and social distancing of 1.2 to 2 meters. Kay sa Oroqueta City, medyo nagkadaghan ta. With in fact, all gatherings are being suspended. No? Aron di na gyud ta magtapok-tapok. Regular intake of vitamins. There's a need for us to have some supplements nowadays. Especially kanayong rich in zinc. Ako happy ko kung mamalit mo og mga limonsito, mga luya, ug uban pa aron magamit nato permi. Then there's a need for us to eat green leafy and yellow vegetables, no? Mag-utan gyud ta. Ug dili mo ganahag utan, kinahanglan gyud mo magkaon na gyud og utan. O gusto mong sikwa, hala, sulti kay tagaan ta kamo gagmayng sikwa. May mga okra diha, kuha po na niyo ganahan mo. No? Ang giingon ni Sir is mukaon kuno tag seafoods. No? Naaman daghan sa atong merkado. So, mas maayo nga ato nang himuon as part of our meal. Maningkamot jud ta nga himsog ta, healthy yun ta. Kay as what our SD is shared to us, he doesn't want nga naay mahitabo nato from DepEd, no? Sama sa nahitabo sa uban nga naay naghikog, no? Na nakuha man na sa TV, na naghikog, mga bata po na apoy naghikog. No? There's a need for us to be very strong and healthy nowadays. COVID-19 is nanagid sa tua, local transmission. Therefore, isigbantayay gyud ta. We should be more stricter, especially in dealing with people around. Okay ba? Maminingog lang. Ha? Agi-unmute nila? Arani. Okay. Ug naamoy bation, sulti mo sa atong mga head teachers, mga principal. Naay atong nurse, daghantag mga empleyado, mga registered nurses. So we are very happy nga naa sila nato and hopefully they could be with you, no? Ug simba ko lang og naamoy bation. Ayaw gyud mo pag hilom-hilom kay kinsa may mutabang, kundi kinahanglan nga ang atong mga personnel dapat healthy gyud kaayo. Okay? For the second reminder, we have on DTR, daily time record. Gisuspend naman nato ang biometric. Therefore, sayon la nato pag submit ang atong accomplished DTR. Kay especially nga karon natay schedule nga 2 days on site and 3 days work from home, so minus ra taog sulaton. Pero nakasinabot man ang tao, ang management nga during sa distribution of modules naagid ang tanan. So makuha gyud nato nga dili gyud ingon og exactly 2 days lang ang atong on-site. I hope nga makasabot pud mo kay mandate man nato gyud na nga mo serve ta sa ato ang mga learners. Mao man gyud atong trabaho. So regarding DTR, I hope nga sayo na maka-submit sa inyong mga respective head teachers aron ma-forward na dayon sa accounting section. Number 3, for payroll. We hope that once nga makakuha na ta didto sa to ang salary, mudumdum ta og pirma sa payroll. Ang unhon og hatag is ang payslip, then kana pagkaugma dayon na dayon ang atong salary. Number 4, on learners' documents. There's a need for you advisors to submit the request forms to Ms. Dagundon for junior high school and Ms. Bisin for senior high school, especially those transferees. And if doubtful mo refer gid mo nila as well as Mrs. Sumili, especially those excuse me, those learners nga ang atong enrollment is online. Kay simba ko oroy og wa na sa atua, then inyong gi-enroll sa LIS. Madihado ta. Then magkita man po ta permis ginikanan, so mangayo ta og photocopy og birth certificate. And if there are learners nga nagihapoy mga health problems, especially katong na mga gipangbati, then there's a need for you to ask for medical certificate kay labi na karon nga physically wala sila sa atua. Number 5, on learners materials. At this time, all the textbooks, reference materials were distributed to our learners through their parents. If ever there are still reference materials sa inyong classroom, kana is mga buffer na lang na or exist. Again, atong ihatag sa atong mga bata kay mainang na nila basa-basahon to supplement the modules. Number 6. On LIS enrollment updating. Update the status of our learners. There's a need, especially for grade 7 learners, see to it that the school heads will confirm the status. Kaya natin mga experience nga, nag-enroll na di sa ubang eskwelahan, then di ninyo makitaan dire wala nakakuhag module, no? So atong i-refer na sa previous school, then Mrs. Sumili can help you and Mrs. Bisin. As of yesterday, Oroqueta City Division is very far behind in terms of LIS enrollment. 69% pa ang Oroqueta City Division. O sa kadaghang eskwelahan, kita mo ay makakontribute kay naa diri ang 5,600 ka mga bata nato. So therefore, there's a need for us, for you advisors, nga katong atong usual nga routinary activities on LIS enrollment inyo nang himuon. With in fact, Mrs. Ima Poliscas, the planning officer of Oroqueta City Division, requested that there's a need for us to work on it before the end of the week. Kaya ang uban is 90% na sila. Therefore, there's a need for you to collaborate with Mrs. Sumili and Mrs. Bisin. Okay. Number 7. Schedule of SLM distribution. Dili kita maka-fix nga every Friday and every Monday. Like for example, next week, Monday is declared as holiday, November 2. So, ang distribution nato ana is sa Tuesday na pohon. No? Di man punta ka kuan nga mangari sila og November 2 bisan tuod og dili sila ka not allowed nga maadtog minteryo, no? Kay holiday man gyud na. So there are factors to be considered in the distributions. Therefore, open communication and close contact with our learners, our parents, good, no? There are some factors also to consider, like for example, wa pa na-upload. In the case of RBI, nasulbad na ang RBI because we're able to talk with Mr. Liwagon nga di na nato experience tong Domingo na i-upload. Ga-request gyud ko nga kung mahimo ma-upload Thursday, and so far karon ga improve na ang uploading, no? Gamay na lang nga learning areas ang wala pa na upload. Ug hinaot di na gyud upload, no? Kay abi nimo kita gyud sa taga-imo NHS ang dihado. Kay daghan kaayo ta og i-print, daghan kay tag estudyante. Sa bagay nasulbad na, no? Kay pasalamat pud ta nga kuan di lalim pud ilang trabaho sa mga writers. EQA pa. Pero unsaon ta man nga nanerbisyo man gyud ta. Sumaningkamot gyud ta. Di ko gusto nga maglukdo-lukdo mo og kuan printer, lukdo pa ingos balay, lukdo pa ingos eskwelahan. So therefore there's a need for us to manage our time. Ug unsaon nato pag-manage aning atong time nga daghan kay gibira-bira ta, then kita na lang gi maantigo. Kay kun moingon mo gibira-bira mo, kami po diri gi bira-bira pud mo, no? Daghan tag tan-awonon. Pero pasalamat tas Ginoo nga nakasilbi gihapon ta. Kung naay mga experience nato nga wala nakuha ang module, then ang Department of Education or kita City Division was able to partner with PNP, with in fact na Division Memo 285 entitled Module sa Kabataan, ihatod sa Kapulisan para sa COVID-19 Malikayan. We sent a letter to our Police Superintendent of Oroquita City, then okay sila. So there's a need, mo-inform lang mo kung asang barangaya, pila ka buok, kay di po maayo nga usa ka module atong ihatod dito sa bunga, no? Dapat kuan gyud ta nga mo inform mo sa management, mo inform mo sa mga head teachers nga ma'am kini kinahanglan ihatod kay wa gyud niya iplite. Unsaon ta man nga ing advice ta nila nga adtos lamang eskwela sa duol nga eskwelahan sa ilang barangay na anhin man gyud sila kay tungod ninyo. Ma'am, di gyud na pwede, sir, di gyud na pwede adto ko kay tungod aning maestraha. Ganahan gyud kog anhi sa imo. Napasalamat pud ta ana nga kuan mo na ilang desisyon. However, some of you still convincing our parents nga mo transfer sa ilang eskwelahan sa dool sa ilang barangay aron pag di makagasto og dagko man kay ngano ang plite ron is times 2 habit, no? So if you can still convince your parents to transfer to another school, to transfer to another modality, then we appreciate your endeavor. Daghan kay tag experience, no? In 1 month time, daghan kay tag experience, but we are considering that as mga challenges, no? Mga opportunities, and still we are still in the learning curve. Kay unsaon taman nga naa naman ta aning new normal. So we are requesting you nga there's a need for you to have open communication with our parents, with our learners, the school's planning to give you one sale card worth 300 by November. No? Nag-canvas pa taog kuan. Bahin ana. No? When I asked from the supervisors, division supervisors, ug unsay ilang mga experience po from other schools, pare-pareha gyud ita, even though if gagmay na sa estudyante. Like for example, the parents did not follow the schedule. Based po sa among rounds, mao maghapon nga wala naka anha sa schedule na di man pud pili ng atong balibaran. So manawag gyud ta ninyo, manawag ang inyong mga partners, no? Then moari pud sa eskwelahan is mangutana ta og unsang ruma, di pud makatubag kay gisugo ra pud di ay, no? Wala kabalo og asa nga room. Others walay contact numbers. Modules not complete. Wala gihatod sa subject teacher ngadto sa advisor. So it's between the advisor and the subject teacher gyud kay dili maayo nga dili ta ka-distribute sa module unless nga it's beyond our control. So it's just a ticks away mangyud ta karon. Then please inform also your parents as to your whereabouts kay sa among end diri maka-receive mi nga nangita ana if ever it's the schedule for the distribution of modules, we are advising you to be in your respective classrooms. Kay bisan tuog naatay giset nga schedule, ang parents dili pod maka-follow kay naapoy ilang gipambuhat sa ila, naapod sila mga obligasyon sa ila. No? Kay di po taganahan nga ang parents muuli nga way dalang module. Sayang ang ilang kahago, money, no? Efforts ug time. So magsinabtanay gyud ta ani, and we are very happy nga pagtawag ninyo, tawagan mo, you were able to respond and you were able to serve our parents. No? Murag hangtod yun ta ani kun maundang ning mga experience nato ani kun naanay vaccine. Next, on delivery of lessons. For online classes, no? I'm referring to online teachers. Be extra careful in giving instructions to your learners. Kay naay time nga ang ginikanan naminaw sa online class. We are in the new normal. Therefore, mag-adjust yun ta. If ever naatagisit nga standards before, di na nato to followhon nga standards. There's a need for us to lower our standards. Remember that learning competencies were trimmed down to the most essential learning competencies. Most essential. Delivery of quality education this time using the MELC is in the new normal. Easiest way to facilitate delivery of learning. Di gyud nato lisod-lisoron ang mga bata. Kay makaluluoy ang ato mga bata. And we don't want that our learners will be stress, experience stress, mabother, o maka-experience na noon simbako o depression. Much more to you, our beloved teachers. We don't want that you will be experiencing some unhealthy conditions. No? Mao na nga mo ato yung i-boost ang atong health immune system aron makapadayon ta og deliver sa goods. We don't want that what happened in other regions will happen in our division, particularly in our school. As what our SDE shared to us, di siya ganahan, di siya gusto nga na ay maghikog either teacher or learner. Kaya na nahitabo from other regions nga naghikog. If ever there are signs sa inyong mga bata o even sa inyo mismo, then be open. Natay mga practitioners diri. Natay mga experts ana. We have 3 guidance counselors and we have a number of registered nurses. We have 1 full-time school nurse. No? Mo open yung ta kay wa ta kay balo di man ta mga doktor, no? Kung natay bation moingon gyud ta diretso nga naa ko'y gibati. We in the management level are after of your health, safety and security, no? Di lang sa inyo kundi appeal ang atong 5,629 learners together with the parents. Therefore, there's a need for us to self-manage, no? Nga maayo gud nato pagka-manage ang atong kaugalingon, maayong pagka-manage ang atong delivery sa goods and mag-ampo gyud ta pirmi nga gihanta sa Ginoo. Kay manerbisyo pa man ta, no? And lastly, for the learning delivery modality course, na naman happy me nga naka-submit na mo, then naa gitagaan mo tag sa ka-folder, then tanang butang diha, tanang mga outputs ibutang. We hope nga katong gihatag nato nga para sa bata o sa ginikanan ma-retrieve na pudto, then ang sa guidance psychosocial nga activities makuha na pudto, then hopefully Friday manghatag na pudta og module sa guidance together sa homeroom guidance nga module together paghatag nato sa mga printed materials. Mahuman na og print tung last grade level siguro karong adlaw. So makasugod na tag-distribute, makakuha na mo starting tomorrow. When we made our rounds, we are very happy nga naamoy mga initiatives, no? Nga gipanghimo sa inyong mga classrooms, then continue, no? We would like to commend of your efforts in doing those strategies in the distribution as well as in the retrieval of materials, no? Of which those techniques, those practices that you are doing now will help you, no? You will be benefited on that and see to it that you have to document, no? Kay magamit na ninyo after this today's webinar. If ever there are some questions related to my sharing this morning, pwede na ma-raise ninyo unya dapit, no? Okay, so those are some reminders and updates. For part 2, I will be sharing to you the DepEd Order number 30, Series 2020, dated October 2, 2020. This is the amendment to DepEd Order number 007, Series 2020, known as the School Calendar of Activities for School Year 2020. If you have copies, no, or if you can have your own copy, naana sa DepEd website. The official website of DepEd is deped.gov.ph. Then for region, we have deped10.com. Then for Oroquita City, GeoCities. No? Kana, the three websites are very important to all of us. Okay. So naa naman na diha ang ipang-stipulate bahin sa DepEd Order 30. No? Nga nag-start ta sa klase October 5. Supposedly, August 24. Then may mahaka-haka nga dili, pero our beloved Secretary Leonor Briones Magtulis is very emphatic nga there's a need for us to open, no? Kay magsugod nagklase, kay mag-unsa man itong mga bata kung adto ra silang balay. Gadagan ang adlaw, gadagan ang tuig. Good that na okay na. Okay? Okay, next slide. Adto ta loy sa summary. Summary na lang ta. Kamo na lang magbasa ani sa full text of DepEd Order 30. Wa paran? Low lagi. Okay. So we have here the summary on school calendar of activities. For school year 2020-2021, opening of classes started last October 5, 2020. First quarter, October 5 to November 28. And remember nga, ug naa pay magpa-enroll, pwede pa. Kay ang mo-end ang enrollment the month of November. Always remember nga kung makamit lang siya sa 80%, then okay ra. Second quarter, December 1 to February 6, 2021. Christmas break, December 19, 2020 to January 3, 2021. Resumption of classes, January 4, 2021. Then start of early registration, January 30, 2021. Daghan gihapon ta experience ani early registration. So hopefully, amo nang gi-share sa ubang school head sa elementary nga, again, maghatag sila natong lista aron makahibalo pud ta nga kanang mga bataa diri sa ato amang eskwela. Kay ang ating experience, like for example for grade 7 learners, nakaingon sila og kadtong early registration mo na to'y final na nga enrollment. Nagdahom sila, so as sa first week of October na pay nagpa-enroll kay ingon ang ginikanan nga wa man kadawat ang akong anak og module, ang iyang mga kauban silingan na anak, so pag-ari di ay wala pa di ay na enroll. Okay. Mid-year in-service training for teachers February 8 to 13, 2021. Then third quarter February 15 to April 10, 2021. Then fourth quarter April 12 to June 5, 2021. End of school rights June 7 to 11, 2021. Ug mag-ampot tas Ginoo nga makabalik na ta sa face to face kay aron maka-experience na ta aning recognition and graduation. Hopefully adto na ta sa ato ang covered court pohon. Last day of school year June 11, 2021. Then start of summer classes June 14, 2021. Then remedial advancement and enrichment classes June 14 to July 23, 2021. Okay, the number of school days for school year 2020-2021. Gastart ta og klase is no October 5. But we count the days in September mo na nga for the month of September na ay 9 school days to meet the 205 total number of school days. October 27, then November 23, December 16, then January 24, February 22, March 27, April 22, May 25, then June 10. Total class days 205. Again, ato ning gikuan aron properly guided mo, especially when we will be giving the report cards of our learners. However, if there are some changes, then we will update you, no, through your head teachers and principal, assistant principal, no, as to the official number of school days per month. Okay, so I think that's all sa akong part, no? Sa ako pong ginaingon, we should be very strong and healthy, and we should be willing to serve our learners and stakeholders. Kay sa DepEd Oroqueta, bata ang bida, ug nakita namo na nga sa inyong level, bisan pa og naata ning COVID-19 pandemic, we are very thankful and we appreciate of your mga endeavors ninyo kay kaluoy sa Dios. Nakasilbi ta og nakita pud nako nga mga himsog tatanan, nanambok manuon tatanan, no? So kana nagdugang pud na nga maayo ta mo serbisyo sa atong mga ginikanan o kabataan. Hopefully murag duha tingali ang ato ang mga awardees ani, no, ginikanan og bata. So ug unsa manggaling ning kuana nga ugay hangtod ta aning June 11 mag-inani. So again, thank you very much, and stay safe, no? And be healthy always. God bless.
Thank you so much, Sir Florentino R. Santos Jr., our secondary school principal, for giving us some updates, reminders on the different uh, undertakings that we need to be done. Thank you so much. A round of applause, virtual applause for our principal.
Sige. Aun sa man? Okay na?
If we
Sige.
have some questions, kindly post it on the chat box. Type it on the chat box for some questions. Sir Lloyd said it's thank you, sir. Okay, for some questions or clarifications regarding the updates as well as the on the calendar of activities. Okay, so I guess everyone said thank you. No more questions for now.
Walay question? Sige, question. Kay, di ba ta magkita pirmi na?
Okay, here is a question here from Milchora Aseo.
Okay.
Ano appeal ang September sa number of school days, sir?
Oh.
Anong appeal
Okay.
ang September sa number of school days, sir?
Naana naka-stipulate dahil sa DepEd Order 30 nga gibutang diri. However, the days in September prior to the formal school opening will be used to provide learners with assignments to explore foundational topics for deepening during the year. Orientation on the utilization of alternative learning delivery modalities and corresponding learners' materials and mental health and psychosocial support activities. These pre-opening activities devoted to the attainment of learning objectives for the school year shall be counted as class days. Diba? Katong nakuha nimo nato nga nangari na ta, then diha po yung mga conferences. So mao na nga na gi-appeal aron to meet the 205 school days. Okay?
Okay, I think
Based
that
na
was.
sa Republic Act.
Thank
Okay.
you, sir.
Republic Act 11480, no? Okay.
Okay. Another question. Thank you for that, sir. Thank you, Mama Sayo. Another question coming from Juliet Gonzalez. Sir,
Okay.
the distribution for SLMS and modules for next week, will it be on Monday or this Friday?
Okay, mao lagi ti akong giingon nga kalag-kalag man na day. Na bisan to di ta kaadtog minteryo, sure man ko nga gabiko ka, magbiko ka ana. Then dili pud maayo siguro nga pariu nato ang mga ginikanan during holidays. No? So adto ta sa Tuesday. Kay holiday man gyud na. Oh. Na we want also nga ang mga ginikanan maka enjoy pod sa ilang holiday. Much more nato. Di ba? Unsa may konsenso sa grupo? Ah? November 2 is Monday. Holiday man na siya. 3? Oh. 3 aron maka-enjoy pod mo. Di ba? So, definitely, this coming Friday, naatatanan. Di ba? Naatatanan kay mag-distribute ug mag-uli ra sa printed module. Pagka 3 ra. Okay. But ang akong pangutana is, na kompleto na ba itong modules para i-distribute karong Tuesday? Day, no? No? Distribution of module Tuesday. Yes, sir. Retrieval of modules this coming Friday. Oh. Oh. Kung appeal na distribute ang kuan homeroom guidance, mas maayo, di ba? Oh. Nana na. Basta ang homeroom nga modules ready na for distribution. Kung mahimo, ma-appeal, ma-distribute na by Friday. Okay? Klaro ba day?
Okay, so I guess that's November 3. Some more questions? We also have a question here from Ma'am Claudine Marchan. Need pa mag-SF2, sir?
School form
2.
2.
That's for the
That's
attendance.
monthly, di ba?
Monthly attendance.
Oh. Magtagad lang sa ta, day. Og issuance anak kay wala pa man na kuan. Oh, ako'y pa ko na day, mapaingon gyud na day og 100%. Unless nga undang gid ang bata pananglitan, di ba? Kay wa naman gid tayo face to face. Or og makamonitor mo, mas maayo nga makita man pud na nato sa inyo ang mga outputs, di ba? Mga activity sheets nga ilang ipang submit, so that means kana is considered as present. Like for example, kasaratan nag-distribute, then nakasubmit siya, then 100% na siya nga attendance. But we still wait for the issuance yun ana. Na? Okay.
Okay, so as for the SF2, we shall wait for some issuances. Another question from Christine Bunyao. Sir, naay parents nga dili mo uli og modules og Friday. Kay during distribution adto na sila mo uli sa tingkuha kay kalas daw pamiliti. Okay ra ba ni sir?
Okay ra. Ha? Kay ang gisakita gid sila ron og pamasahe. Di ba? Kay nangutana ko og tagpila, like for example sa Tuyabang pila gasto. Oh. Dako times 2 dayon. No? Oh. Pero kung mahimo mauli gyud nila kay unsaon na pag-progress sa bata nila. Mo to nga kun dili kuan is mo partner man tas pulis, di ba? Oh, maka-request na din ta sa pulis og asa ng dapita nga atong ipahatod ng module og kuha. Pero di pud maayo na nga sa Lower Lubok or sa Poblacion 1 dili makaari kay walay pamasahe na atong ihatod ng module nga hay kunon ra man na, no? Naay mga cases nga kuan kay di pud ta kakuas ginikanan kay lisod lagi. Mao bitaw na unta nga advisean gyud na sila nga mo transfer sa kinaduulan nga eskwelahan karong tuiga. Kay lisod man gyud ang panginabuhi ron. Mosabot man ta. Kay swerte lang gani pud tang mga taga DepEd kay continue atong sweldo, no? Kana sila is apektado kaayo lang ilang panginabuhi kada adlaw. So mosabot gyud ta nila. Moto nga kung naa, then approach mo sa inyong respective head teachers kay atong tawagan ang PNP sa Oroqueta aron maoy maghatod. Kung wa gyud ya mo'y pamasahe. Diba?
Uban daw
Okay.
sir kay dili daw mobalhin.
Mao lagi ambot nganong di pud mamalhin tungod mangguna ninyo giayo pud ninyo tudlo ayo. Na karon is kuan man most essential raman. Tinuod na nga di mamalhin kay kami mismo ako mo moingon mangyud ko nga adto sa amo sa inyong barangay karon then balik lang mo namo puhon na mag sir diri man mi graduate sir diri mi tanan Okay ra sir. O sige, okay ra man ka ha. So inana, pasalamat lang kita nga ganahan sila sa atong eskwelahan bisag inani ang sitwasyon. So mo na nga suportahan gihapon nato sila kay unsaon ta man nga ilang desisyon gusto man gid sila nga anhin nato tanan, no? Hmm. Kay ako pang gikaingon sa una wa ba gyud ta ngampanya nga ali na mo sa IMO, enrollment sa IMO wala kay tungod sa COVID-19 pandemic. Pero in spite ana is diri man gyud kay ganahan man sila then mo bitaw nga atong inan nga pareha ra gyud mi gidiskusyon wa gyud ta kakitas mga bata. Papel ra gyud palihok ani, radio, online, internet pero moingon sila nga diri ra. So wa tay mahimo kundi atong i-embrace sila. Open arms gyud ta nga salamat nga naka-decide mo nga anhi mo so tabangan nato sila nga ang ilang mga problema makuhaan kay ga problema man pud ta, diba? So share na lang yun, share and share. Sige,
Okay.
kapag
From Ma'am Eden Bidolido, Sir, about sa printing of SLMs, ba pwede may makapangayo og ink? Sir, for
ang
our personal printer, kay kami naman good mag-print sa among SLMs.
ang eskwelahan wala mo ingon nga magpalit mo. Ug nagpalit ka idin tagai mi. Mudawat mi. Idin kay balo kung dahang kag kwarta. Bitaw, joke. Naningkamot ang eskwelahan nga dili mo makagasto sa ink. Ug nagpasalamat pud ta nga daghang mga stakeholders nga in-share sa ilang resources. Kay kung naa pa untay ink ang atong risograph machine, wa gyud problema. Unsaon ta man nga nag-contact ta supplier, di pa man gyud sila katubag og kanus-an. It's a nationwide problem, no? Kadtong nang gigamit sa risograph machine. So agong usbon, pasalamat ni kung mo-share mo sa inyong resources, pero kung naay ato ang ink available, then pangayo mo sa inyong mga head teachers. Blessing man po na idin nga makashare tag sa atong resources dahil. Diba? Then, submit lang dayon ni Mr. Dagandan o pila ka ink ang imong na kuan kay atong butang sa list of donors. Na? Pohon. Sige.
Okay. Next question is from Ma'am Marjo. I guess from Ma'am Marjo, addressed to Ma'am Esther.
Okay.
Clarification lang, ang senior high school tomorrow Thursday, ang retrieval and distribution sa modules.
Yes, kinsa ni si Marjo? Ha? Ay, yes, ako bitaw mo gi-inform nga because of our meeting today, supposedly today man unta. Because of our meeting today, mo na nga atong gi-postpone tomorrow na lang.
Magdugang ko. Mag-remind yun ninyo nga mutis yun mo sa inyong mga ginikanan o bata kung ma-change ang schedule. Kaya kamura man yun diha mo'y magpunta-punta. Muna nga, murag ang inyong bonding sa parent o learners karong panahon na between teachers, parents, and learners strong kaayo. Ug kana naghatag na nato og benepisyo nga ang atong TLC, na Tender Loving Care
Wow.
sa atong mga stakeholders o ginikan. Ibaday,
Okay, from Ma'am Ranara. Not all, sir, will report this coming Friday, like us here nga QA na ami sa Anchor of Hope.
oh, dai. I-quarantine mo. So, congratulations diha. Itataman mo November 3. No? 5 o November 5. Oh. Sige. So naa kay partner. So karon panahon na day moingon na kag kinsay imong palungkuran. Ra. Napalong
Napalong si Sarah.
lo. Oh, kata man ko.
So, sir.
Okay na? Okay.
Okay lang question, sir.
Okay. Loy. Muna lang, sorry kay hakin naglubat akong laptop. Oh.
Sir, for those affected areas, sir, or purok and barangays in the list, 3 weeks na, sir, wala nakakuha ang parents. Pwede itap ang PNP ana, sir, kay dili man fair or pamiliti ang problema, kung dili ang lockdown. Nag-goal na kayo ang parents o estudyante? Salamat sa clarification.
Oh, okay. Naatay mga purok nga na lockdown, di ba? Muna granular to, no? Granular lockdown. So, ina sila nga dili sila mag-worry. Kay it's beyond our control. Di ba? Beyond our control man na. So, kung asa nang dapita day, di sa katayong. O sige, contact mo, approach mo sa inyong head teachers kay aron ma-inform na to ang PNP. Bahin ana, problema ha. Muna ato ginang ikuan nga, i-comfort na to ato mga bata nga dili mo mag-worry. Ha? Kung ugaling na unsaon pa man nga naapektuhan man mo sa COVID-19 nga case. No? Then ato lang sultian pirmi nga di nato ipahamak ang ilang health sa bata ug sa mga ginikanan. Okay? Napa? O katong kang Mrs. Lanara is naki-partner dahil or mag-request ka o kauban nimo nga maka-distribute. Kaya nga no, tungod sa paghapon tungod sa inyong activity. No? Okay.
Yes.
Busy ang
Busy ang kuan.
sa Purok 3, Lower Lobok.
Wala na mabuhay mo. Mabuhay mo sa iyong teachers para masulbad ng problema. Okay, kung napay mga laing kamutana, kung nailaing kamutana, pwede ko madool. Social distancing, physical distancing lang tayo. Kay ini naramang ko. Then pwede po mo makatawag nako, makatik sa akong official number. No? Kay andam ako nga mo tubag o mo alagad kaninyong tanan. Char.
Napay last nga question from Eribal. Unsay sakto sa pag-reproduce sa RBI SLM? Naay ngalan sa writer or wala? Medyo nalibog gamay kay ang ubang subjects like ESP naay name sa writer, ang ilang SLM nga gi-produce unsa jay sakto. Salamat sa pagtubag.
Oh, wala
Ma'am
mi
Alo?
kuan ana day kay naay mga team no in charge. So adto na ninyo i-refer sa in charge. If I were you, please refer to division memo nga ilang gihatag.
Actually, sir, it's not our control pod.
Oh.
Kay, ang pag-submit na mo, nag-name sa writer, pero pag-print nila, sila naman kung ano yung mag-upload.
Oh. Ang importante nga makahatag ta sa module, makahatag ta sa material. Di ba? Sir, dapat wala jud malimtan usahay og delete ni Miss Sir Dion. Why gahom ang kalimot day? Oh. So i-inform ninyo siya nga inana, no? Sige. Mo na to kay naapay laing mga speakers, no? Ug naay kuan willing ko nga kuan mo answer sa kuan. Anha lang ko or tawagi ko or tiksi ko. Okay? Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Sir Florentino R. Santos. Have some virtual clap for our secondary school principal and for answering also some questions. Thank you so much, sir. So let's have a break. 1 minute break, CR break first, before we will proceed to our next session. CR break muna, 1 minute.
Yes, ikaw na.
Hi! For all of us to make the most of today's activity and have a wonderful experience, the following perfect 10 suggestions on proper etiquette in video conferencing are offered. Condition yourself for the activity by ensuring that you are prepared and available for active engagement. Dress properly for the affair by ensuring that you do not look sloppy. Test your internet facilities beforehand by ensuring that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Blur your background or use a decent one by ensuring that your room or chosen background does not have distracting features. Find a quiet or private space by ensuring that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Observe proper cueing and timing by ensuring that you get the right verbal and nonverbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. Speak only when recognized by ensuring that your microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Demonstrate active engagement by ensuring that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you. Hi. For all of us to make the most of today. Especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you. Hi. For all of us to make the most of today's activity and have a wonderful experience, the following perfect 10 suggestions on proper etiquette in video conferencing are offered. Condition yourself for the activity by ensuring that you are prepared and available for active engagement. Dress properly for the affair by ensuring that you do not look sloppy. Test your internet facilities beforehand by ensuring that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Blur your background or use a decent one by ensuring that your room or chosen background does not have distracting features. Find a quiet or private space by ensuring that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Observe proper cueing and timing by ensuring that you get the right verbal and nonverbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. Speak only when recognized by ensuring that your microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Demonstrate active engagement by ensuring that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you. Hi. For all of us to make the most of today's activity and have a wonderful experience, the following perfect 10 suggestions on proper etiquette in video conferencing are offered. Condition yourself for the activity by ensuring that you are prepared and available for active engagement. Dress properly for the affair by ensuring that you do not look sloppy. Test your internet facilities beforehand by ensuring that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Blur your background or use a decent one by ensuring that your room or chosen background does not have distracting features. Find a quiet or private space by ensuring that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Observe proper cueing and timing by ensuring that you get the right verbal and nonverbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. Speak only when recognized by ensuring that your microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Demonstrate active engagement by ensuring that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you. Hi. For all of us to make the most of today's activity and have a wonderful experience, the following perfect 10 suggestions on proper etiquette in video conferencing are offered. Condition yourself for the activity by ensuring that you are prepared and available for active engagement. Dress properly for the affair by ensuring that you do not look sloppy. Test your internet facilities beforehand by ensuring that your microphone, speakers, headphones, and internet connectivity are in place. Blur your background or use a decent one by ensuring that your room or chosen background does not have distracting features. Find a quiet or private space by ensuring that your area is not vulnerable to unnecessary noise. Observe proper cueing and timing by ensuring that you get the right verbal and nonverbal cues when requesting to be recognized for a question or comment. Speak only when recognized by ensuring that your microphone and camera are turned off unless authorized. Active engagement by ensuring that you manifest active listening and balanced communication, especially during a conversation. Show reverence and appreciation for the presenter by ensuring that you give the presenter your full attention. Finally, be grateful for the opportunity by ensuring that you imbibe a positive vibe throughout the activity and being thankful for whatever takeaway you get out of the experience. Your meaningful and wonderful experience in today's activity is important to us. Thank you.
Okay, so we're done with our CR break. So let us now proceed to our session 2 on Department Order number 31, Series 2020 also known as the interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. This will be presented to us by our secondary school principal 2, Ma'am Esther A. Umungos, our head teacher 5 in AP and ESP, Ma'am Luella M. Alo, our head teacher 4 in Filipino, Ma'am Nicanora Silimpahan, and our head teacher 3 of mathematics, Mr. Dosinio B. Dagandan. Please help me welcome to start with the DepEd order number 31. We have Ma'am Luella M. Alo. A virtual clap, please.
Mag-share na ako. Good morning, everyone. Mag-share sa ako, ha?
Morning.
Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. How are you? Okay ra ba tatanan? Anyway, my morning greetings to our cute and amiable IMZ, Mr. J. B. Ruferos, our ever supportive and fatherly principal, Mr. Florentino R. Santos, to our assistant school principal, Mrs. Esther A. Umungos, and also Mrs. Maricho A. Morales, fellow head teachers, at kayong lahat, to you all a pleasant morning once again. One of the most affected segments of our society that has been shaken by the global pandemic caused by the novel coronavirus is the education sector. It has affected the lives of all learners in the Philippines since March. This is the first pandemic to have had a profound impact on education, not only in the Philippines but across the world. As schools prepare for school year 2020-2021, teachers and parents must adapt alternative learning modalities to ensure that learners achieve essential curricular goals. In the distance or blended learning environments, it is necessary to utilize alternative tools and strategies for assessing and supporting learning while avoiding creating unique pressure on the teachers, learners, and their families. That is why DepEd Order number 31 Series 2020 came into existence. This DepEd order provides for the interim policy guidelines for assessment and grading in the light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, the BELCP, that will be implemented by the public elementary and secondary schools nationwide this school year 2020-2021. Before I will proceed to the grading and promotion, I would like to reiterate muna these important terms no, for the purpose no, of this policy. The following are the classroom management. I know you know all these things. No, it's an ongoing process of identifying, gathering, organizing, and interpreting quantitative and qualitative information about what learners know and can do. That is classroom assessment rather. And their formative assessment is a process that involves teachers using evidence about what learners know and can do to inform and improve their teaching. This process, through the teacher's immediate feedback, enables students to take responsibility to their own learning and identify areas where they do well and where they need help. Remember, formative assessments are not basis for grading. Summative assessment is an assessment that is usually administered toward the end of a learning period to measure the extent to which the learners have mastered the essential learning competencies. the results of which are recorded and are used to report the learner's achievement. And the last one is grading, is the way of reporting assessment data by assigning a value to the results as a record of students' ability, achievement, or progress that is according to the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development of 2020. Okay. The grading system implemented in this interim policy provides reasonable leniency to learners. And when we speak of leniency, this is the quality of being lenient, no? Or a mild tolerance or disposition. It provides leniency, but at the same time, it does not compromise the integrity and principles of assessment and grading. This is to ensure that all learners are fairly assessed and graded in the continuation of education during this health crisis. Okay, so here are how we would give grades to our students. Uh, Basically, it is based on written works and performance tasks. So written works and performance tasks shall be administered to us administered to assess content standards and written works and performance standards for the performance task. And both will measure knowledge, abilities, and skills. The procedure, I would like to make mention of letter B, no, in the procedure of this DepEd order number 31. I would like to emphasize that it is being stated here that it is not required to accomplish the self-monitoring tool, but its usage is highly recommended to keep track of learners' academic progress. So, mao ni buot pasabot sa leniency nga. Dili lang sa kapug kaayo, stricto kaayo rong mga panahona. It's not required to accomplish na nan, but then we need to kanang encourage them kay it is highly recommended man to keep track of the learner's academic progress. Okay, and then next, this task could be designed to include the following: students' learning portfolio, all the evidence of learning within the grading period. So within the grading period, it includes self-reflections, self-evaluations of performances, guided by rubrics and self-selected best outputs in the learning modules. Okay? And then, take note, minimum of 4 written works and 4 performance standards within within a quarter, preferably 1 in 2 weeks, integrating 2 or more competencies. Uh, Tingnan natin sa page 20, sa number 25. For the current school year, wait, sige. I'll continue first. And then all competencies should be covered by the performance task. Example, a performance task can be used to assess science, math, and English altogether for certain topics. Morning layering of competencies. Na kung kaya sa performance, kayang makover science, math, and English, then we can do it, no? And then, sa number 25, my dear colleagues, for the current school year, quarterly assessment shall not be administered. However, days allotted for quarterly assessments in DepEd Order number 7, Series 2020, for the school calendar and activities for school year 2020-21 may be used for the presentation of major performance for the quarter that addresses the performance standard. Okay? Gets niyo ba? And number 25, 26, in this repeat order states quarterly examinations were given a weight of 20% constantly in repeat order number 8, series 2015. Since it will no longer be a part of the grading system for the school year, its previous determined weight was distributed equally into written works and performance tasks, allotting an additional 10% to each component. This maintains an emphasis on performance tasks for some learning area. Our beautiful assistant principal of the senior high school will explain to us about this weight distribution of the summative assessment and the performance standards. Thank you so much. Questions will be entertained later.
Hindi na dayon.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Luella Alo, for giving us some enlightenment on this DO 31. Now, to continue, will be our senior high school principal 2, Ma'am Esther A. Omongos. The virtual class, please.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Sa ako naman nila. Mo ko ani mo.
Sure.
Share na nako.
Share naman.
Dayon. Ano ka mo? Okay. Ano ako hindi video ko siya? Ako na.
Mana gani ako.
Okay, ako na nagibis.
Di pa naman.
Dayon. Wait. Ano kanila?
Kani isa.
Kani. Ano start?
Dayon, next na naman.
Good morning once again. As a continuation of what Mrs. Alo, our beautiful head teacher 5 in AP, has discussed, my task is just to continue what she has started. Now, actually, for school year 2020-2021, we don't need to have our quarterly assessments. So, our task na is instead days allotted for quarterly assessment in DepEd Order Number 7, Series of 2020, or school calendar of activities may be used for the presentation of major performance for the quarter that addresses the performance standards. So, for this school year, since there will be no longer a quarterly exam or a periodical test, the 20% given in the periodical test is distributed equally to the other components, like the written works and the performance tasks. So, allotting additional 10% to each component. Still, this maintains an emphasis on performance tasks for some learning areas. So in this case, if we're going to look at the distribution on the summative assessment per learning area for grades 1 to 10. So look at our slide. For the assessment components, the written works for the languages, apila na English, Filipino, and other related subjects na mo, related to languages. Araling panlipunan, edukasyon sa pagpapakatao, we have here 40% for the written work. In science and math, take note, it's 50%. And then for MAPI, EPP, and TLE, we have 30%. Performance tasks for languages, AP, and ESP is 60%. So kung itotal na nimo, 100% na siya. Science and math performance is also 50. So bali sa science of math, 50-50 sila. 50% sa written works, 50% sa performance tasks. And then for the MAPI and TLE, dako ang performance task, it's 70%. And the written works is only 30%. For senior high school, since in the senior high school we have 4 subjects, we have applied subjects, and we have specialized subjects. We also have immersions. So in this case, the core subject is similar to the other subjects in the junior high school. So core subjects, which include for written works, the core subjects, we have 40%, and then for the performance, we have only 60%. Now, academic track, what do you mean by the term here, all other subjects? And then that's 40-60, the same sa core subjects. Then ang work, immersion, research, business enterprise simulation, exhibit performance, that is 50% for written works, and performance is 50%. So when we say all other subjects under the academic track, that means the specialized subjects in the academic track. And our academic tracks are, the strand for the academic tracks are EBM, UM, STEM, and GAS. So, dili na siya 50-50. Kung mayroon ka nga specialized subject sa academic track, 40% o 60%. Core subjects and applied subjects, maura gihapon, 40%, 60%. Pero, under the academic track, the academic track, ang immersion ana is equivalent to sa IBM, katong ato ang business enterprise simulation. Sa STEM, capstone research. Sa UMS o sa GAS, culminating activity. So in this case, it is actually offered sa second SEM naman po. Pero dili naman ta mag-discuss ani sa second SEM, that is why this is taken now. So, second SEM, naa naman taan yung mga work immersion. Therefore, ang written works na to is 50% and performance task is 50%. That is under the academic track. For the technical, vocational, and livelihood, or the TVL, all other subjects means dili na ang core subjects nga gikuha sa TVL ha. Please do not be mistaken on that. Kung mayon ka nga all other subjects sa technical, vocational, and livelihood, these are the specialized subjects also, like sa EIM, or Electrical and Installation Maintenance. In ICT, you have the CSS. And in HE, you have the Cookery, FBS, and BPP. So these are the specialized subjects under the TVL. Mauna siya all other subjects we have. And the written works, 30%, then ang performance task, 70%. By the way, questions will be entertained later ani about ani. I know there are a lot of us na naglibog ani nga part. When we talk of work immersion sa TVL, we know very well that in the previous years, igawas man ginato na siya sa work immersion. So I do not know this time how are we going to do it. Pero for work immersion nga subject, expo, that is the research exhibit performance, apila ang expo ana, that written work is 30% and the performance task is 70%. Now, for the, excuse, how will I go on katong other slide?
Stop share sa.
Mo-share sa kog lain nga slide ha.
Click share.
Edi mauran. Stop share.
I-stop na. Share screen. Sa to.
Kada kada dara.
Ano? Share.
Share. Ito gyapon yung. Okay. Please look at the slide I have here. For the core subjects sa grade 11 under the academic track, kaning mga black nga colored. So, more or less pare-parehara sila tanan. The applied subjects are the red ones. So, for this year, ang grade 11, ang applied subject is only the empowerment technologies. So, ang applied o ang core, parehara na sila og weight. But when we talk of specialized subjects, lahi-lahi sa kada strand. So, sa EBM, Organization and Management, Applied Economics. Sa UMS, Trends, Networks, and Critical Thinking in the 21st Century Culture. Dayon sa GAS, Organization and Management of Applied Econ. And then sa STEM, General Physics 1, General Chemistry 1, and General Biology 1. Now, these specialized subjects are actually under atong all other subjects sa academic strand. Sa TVL, the same, halos-halos the same ang core of applied subjects. And then for HE, we have the FBS for this semester. And then EIM, 1 hour for this semester. And then sa ICT, CSS, 1 hour for this semester. That is for grade 11. For grade 12, we have here the black ink subjects. They are the core. And then we have applied subjects. So for grade 12, Natay Entrep, Filipino sa Piling Larang. Ang Filipino sa Piling Larang is the same for all academic, but the TVL, different na po na siya. So mao nang Filipino sa Piling Larang academic, Filipino sa Piling Larang textbook. Then we have practical research too. And then this here, we have this a specialized subject under the academic track for grade 12. ABM, we have marketing, accountancy, business finance. Sa UMS, Intro to World Religion, Philippine Politics and Governance, Community Engagement. Sa STEM, Calculus, Bio 1, Physics 1. And then sa GAS, we have Business Ethics and Applied Econ. So these are again under the other subjects academic strand. For our academic track, I mean. For TVL track, we have the same for the core, same also for the applied, and we differ in the specialized. If you have noticed, sa HE, food and beverages is written once, BPP once, kokere twice, meaning kaduhan na sila mag-meet in 1 week. Ang EIM o CSS, they will meet 16 hours a week. So for this case, kani sila, mauna siya under the all other subjects in the TVL nga track. So going back to our slides, we have here, an example of how to compute the written works and performance tasks in languages, AP, ASP for grade 1 to grade 10, and senior high school core subjects. So if you're going to look at the table, the written works is 40% and the performance task is 60%. Now, take note for each quarter, we have only 4. We are only required for 4 written works. And then under the written works for performance tasks, we have also 4. Walay quarterly assessment. So if our highest possible score for the first written work is 20, then 25, 20, 20 for the next. We have a total of 85. And learner A got the score 18, 22, 20, 17, 77. So we have 77 out of 85 points. Now the equivalent there is 91. Get the 40% of 91, we will have 36.4%. For the performance task, which is 60%, out of the 75 points total, highest possible points performance task, the learner only got 56. So the equivalent for that is 75, and getting the 60% of 75, we have 45%. Adding 45% plus 36.4%, we will get 81.4%. That is the initial grade of the learner. And why it becomes 88. We will now follow same as what we have in the previous years that we have practiced. We will follow the transmutation table. So kato siya nga 88, pangitaon na to diri, di ara sa 88. Dara sa 88. 88, 87.2 to 88.79, we have 92. Mao na nga, ang iyang grado, 81.4 sa dire, initial grade, ara ni siya, 81. So, ang iyang transmuted grade, 88. That is why, mao to nga, ang iyang grado, 88. So, ang naka-differential lang gyud sa una o karon is wala na tay periodical test. Then, for the sample computation of written works and performance tasks in math, science for grade 1 and 10, similar na siya, pero only ang ilahang percentage na differ. Written works is 50, performance tasks is also 50. So same thing, there are 4 written works and also 4 performance tasks. And if you have the example here, learner A got 77 out of 85 points. The equivalent grade there is 91. Getting the 50%, we have 45.5. For the performance task, out of 75 points, the learner got 56. The equivalent for that 56 is 75. Then 50% of 75 is 37.5. Adding 37.5 and 45.5, we get the initial grade of 83. And then, tanawa na po dahil na to sa atong transmutation table, the final grade or the quarterly grade is 89. Now, for junior high school, you will have 4 quarters. But for the senior high, you will have only 2 quarters for the first semester. And take note that the end of the academic quarter 1 is on November 28th. And end of the second academic quarter is on February 15. Now take note, dili na natawag na to nga kanang ang nakausap ani kay we call it now as academic quarter. So sa una mayong raman ta nga first quarter, second quarter. This time academic quarter kay wala naman ta nag-follow ato mga dates, then wala naman po tayo periodical test. So we call this time each quarter as an academic quarter. 1, 2, 3, 4. For the senior high, first semester is academic quarter 1 and 2, and the second semester will be academic quarter 3 and 4. So this is the transmutation table. Now, as we practiced before, we have already our e-class record wherein automatic and transmuted grade bugawas at the end of the column, the last column. Now this time, murag wala pa man siguro gihatag nga issuance on the e-class record. So if we have an ICT expert who can make an e-class record where the transmutation table will already be, unsay tawag na, i-connect, i-attach or whatever, nga automatic po ang grado diretso, dili na ta magmano-mano, then we will be very happy for that. And I hope kung kinsay makahimo ana, you will share it to everyone. Kay pare-pareha raman ta. And then, kung dili, then we have to do it manually using this transmutation table. Now, same thing, outstanding, the grading scale is 90 to 100, that is pass. Very satisfactory, 85 to 89, still that's pass. Satisfactory, 80 to 84, pass. Fairly satisfactory, 75 to 79, pass. And again, did not meet expectation, below 75, and that is fail. So when will you give the written outputs? It is suggested that once every 2 weeks na amoy isa ka written outputs. And performance, it could be done in portfolio. So the transmutation tables, which is Appendix B in DO number 8 series of 2015, shall still be used in this grading system. The guidelines on learners' progress report, as well as on promotion and retention, shall likewise follow the provision cited in the said policy. Okay, that's the end of my task. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Esther Omos, for giving us some enlightenment on the computation of the grades for this pandemic academic year. So to continue on the presentation of the Department Order number 31, may we call in the head teacher for of the Filipino Department, Ma'am Nicanora C. Limpahan. A virtual applause, please. Wait, wait, wait. Wait.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Um, to continue on interim guidelines for assessment and grading in light of the Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan, uh, let me ask one question. What is the role of technology in our life as teachers? Okay. Technology plays a substantial role in helping teachers in the development, communication, implementation, and grading of assessment tasks. A matrix of sample tools organized by low, medium, and high technology is provided. Okay, to proceed, let's move on to monitoring and evaluation. The school head shall be primarily responsible for supervising the implementation of this policy in their schools, ensuring that the provisions are communicated to all concerned stakeholders in the school community. Okay, next, the regional and schools divisions offices shall jointly monitor the compliance of schools with these guidelines. The Curriculum and Learning Management Division and Curriculum Implementation Division shall diligently collaborate with each other in ensuring that the provisions of this policy are complied with. At the next slide, at the school level, the implementation of this policy shall be monitored and evaluated at least once every quarter by the school heads. The school head shall prepare a quarterly report that includes the challenges and issues encountered throughout the policy implementation. The said reports shall be submitted to the school's division office for collation and analysis. The SDOs will then prepare a biannual analysis report for submission to the regional office. Overall policy feedback from the regional offices shall be provided to the DepEd Central Office to be used in evaluating the policy for continuous improvement of its design and implementation. It will also be used in improving the design and systems of the learning continuity plan, which may be useful should there be arising challenges in the future which are analogous to the COVID-19 pandemic. Such information shall be addressed to the Office of the Director 4 of the Bureau of Learning Delivery via telephone numbers, okay, that is posted in the screen. Then, next slide. Okay, next is on effectivity. This order shall take effect immediately upon its approval and shall remain in force and in effect for the duration of school year 2020-2021. This shall be registered with the Office of the National Administrative Register at the University of the Philippines Law Center, UP Diliman, Quezon City. DO number 8, series 2015, which is policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic education program, is still in effect, but its provisions inconsistent with these guidelines are suspended for the upcoming school year. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Nicanora C. Limpahan, the head teacher 4 of the Filipino department. Okay, so after this, we know that DepEd Order number 31 has its annexes, and these annexes shall be discussed by the head teacher of the mathematics department. Please welcome Mr. Dosinio B. Dagandan.
Yung video. Okay. Tingnan ako. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my dear teachers. Good morning to all my colleagues in the administration of the MONHS, especially to our school principal, Sir Santos, and to my fellow head teachers. Good morning to everyone. I am tasked to explain or to discuss to you on the sample techniques of each formative assessment strategy, starting from including the face-to-face or all learning modalities that we use amidst the pandemic uh, school year. For the different strategies, we have the asynchronous and synchronous, which we know already that asynchronous is without or the absence of internet connection. It can be through email, text, but not existing at the same time. But for this is synchronous, we are holding, for example, a video class or virtual meeting, virtual class, and responses of our students are done and happen in the present. That's synchronous. Still for asynchronous, the students can use internet connection, but not actually nang na-diretso nga mo sulat sila, mo react sila, mo interpret sa, mo participate sa klase. But their answers of the questions of the teacher can be sent through mobile message, social media, or SMS. Now, establishing clear learning target and success criteria. For the students under asynchronous, meaning without stable internet connection, they can, the teacher should present the learning target for the students to get them to let them to be aware of the target or what they are going to learn in that specific period of uh, class. Present at least two contrasting samples of anonymous work and ask learners to post on comment on which is better and why. For this strategy, the teacher may use the output of a student, but no need to mention of the name. The output shall be presented. Two outputs shall be presented, but the students will be asked, or yes, they will be asked which of the two output is better or best. And they will be asked also why. This is under synchronous. For the asynchronous, the same thing you are going to do. You present two contrasting pieces of anonymous work, and learners will be asked which of these is better and why. So the same as asynchronous, but as I said, asynchronous is um, answers can be delayed, can be sent through SMS, but here in the synchronous, they can act immediately or they can answer immediately through a live chat or a virtual meeting conducted by the teacher. For the checklist or rubrics to provide learners a clear idea of what is expected of them to achieve in relation to the learning targets, then invite them to comment on or raise questions. The same thing in the synchronous type, students will have interactive discussion, no? Interactive discussion because it's online and they're expected uh, on the expected levels of performance. They, the teacher can invite also learners to comment on the raise questions related to the two contrasting pieces presented. Second strategy is eliciting useful evidence of learning. For the teacher, he can pose a variety of questions, especially those that will engage learners in deep thinking. Here we can use the HATS questions, the why, the how are the questions. The exercises that can be provided could be in multiple formats. It could be binary, meaning with two choices only, the multiple choice, then the matching type, or a short answer or essay. We should let learners choose when to complete each exercise during a specific or specified period, and have learners use a paper-based or digital journal to keep a record of what they learn each day. This journal will be the evidence of students' evidence of learning, which can be required to be submitted to their teacher as output of the learning session. For the synchronous type, same question, same thing that you are going to do. For the online teachers, you are going to pose a variety of questions, especially those that will engage learners in deep thinking in a hall or a small group discussion. Call at random at least two learners to answer, and then allow volunteers to contribute responses. Students in here, under synchronous, can react, can interact the discussions done by the teacher online. And they will be provided also with exercises in multiple formats. It could be by multiple choice, matching type, binary, or short answer or essay, to be taken on the same day, at the same time. This is what I mean. Kung asynchronous, pwede lang malate, but still using internet connection. Dili lang strong internet connection. Okay, pwede man malate ang answer to be sent through email or mobile messages. So internet connection is still needed. But for the asynchronous immediate, it should be at the same day and at the same time. So that is the difference between the synchronous and asynchronous under the eliciting useful evidence of learning. Next slide, sir. Naglakton siguro, sir. Balik daw. Okay. Oh, yes. Under providing the strategy, providing effective feedback. It is more on, it is feedbacking, meaning you are going to let the parents or the students know about the progress, their progress, and their performance. It can be done asynchronously by having a record or upload an audio video file containing feedback on learners' performance. It can also be done by having a written feedback through SMS or mobile messages. It could also be through photos, screenshots of learners' outputs to support your feedback as teacher. Under asynchronous or synchronous, it is a real-time conversation with a learner to give feedback about his performance or live class session to highlight details on a common strength and areas for improvement. Then these during the small group discussion or group sessions, learners should show and explain the improvements they made on an anonymous work based on a given feedback. Once they get used to this, then begin using actual samples from the class. In here, and during the presentation of the two anonymous work, if you are going to do this every session where they are going to comment or give comments, suggestions, and decide whether the first one or the second one is better or best answer. Then when they will be used to it, you can use this actual using of samples in your class. In the synchronous type, we have to write feedback of the two given works or two works provided by the teacher, wherein the students will also look or give comments on the answers, give suggestions for improvement. That is for them also to appreciate others' work and to learn from the work of others by giving their feedback on what this student or what they learned from this work of the certain student presented by the teacher as example. That is on the providing of effective feedback. And with this, in every time that the students give comments on suggestions, um, learning occurs, no? Because when you give comments, you need to read, you need to understand what you read, and then you give feedback, comments for suggestions for improvement. That is for effective feedbacking of outputs of performance. On a strategy under synchronous and asynchronous, engaging learners in assessing and improving each other's work. The teacher needs to post ground rules for peer feedback and invite learners to express their concerns with the rules and to suggest any improvements. As I said, in every presentation or in every output of the students, teachers should set the criteria. The criteria could have examples or description. The teacher will provide descriptions of what is to be evaluated based on the rubrics. Teachers should also provide examples of different kinds of feedbacks, comments, and ask learners to reflect on which comment would be helpful to one's work and which one would not. Similar to synchronous, in the asynchronous, the teacher will also present examples of different kinds of feedback or comments. Ask learners which one of these they think would be helpful for improving one's work and why. Again, they have the similar work on the part of the teacher, no presentation of the different kinds of feedbacks or comments. For learners, they have to make multiple attempts at one task and select one that they think is the best. Have them exchange their work with a partner. With this, again, we are going to select one of their partners, attempt they believe is the best. Compare their choices and discuss any areas of concern. In the synchronous, let learners present their work. Actual presentation of output will happen during the online class, in which classmates will provide constructive feedbacks afterwards, after the presentation. And students will be encouraged to incorporate the suggestions and resubmit the revised documents later. For increasing learners' ownership of their own learning, we have to let or have our learners use a paper-based or digital journal to keep a record of what they learn each day. This is the portfolio. This will serve as the portfolio of students as our basis in giving them grade under performance or written works. After completing the task, the learners will be required to write down one thing they found easy about the task and one thing they found difficult and one thing they found interesting. The learners in both synchronous and asynchronous will share what they found easy, what they found difficult, and one thing that they found interesting. The same thing, record will be considered as portfolio of learners. Establish a parking lot for questions. Learners may want to race outside a live conversation or class sessions. Respond to this question as they are posted. In here, in the asynchronous type, students will leave their questions through SMS or through Messenger. Similar to asynchronous, but here in the synchronous type, the answers of the students again can be entertained immediately, and questions or posting of their output can be seen immediately, wherein the students will be encouraged also to raise questions on the chat box. And these chat box questions will be entertained while they are discussing, while the teacher is discussing, or after the teacher's discussion online. Okay, Annex B, sample summative assessment tool that qualify a performance task in various learning delivery modalities. The learning areas here, we see that the written outputs, products, and performance tasks are all written under face-to-face learning. But actually, these strategies or assessment tools cannot only be used for face-to-face learning. Since we don't have face-to-face learning, some of these techniques or strategies or assessment tools in this modality can also be applied in all learning modalities. The list is not exhaustive, and teachers may use the other appropriate tools specific to the assessment task. Meaning, there are assessment tools here which are not, there are assessment tools which are not written in here, but you already did it in your class during the normal or face-to-face discussions, but still can be used. For example, here we have the letter writing, the essays. It can be sent through pictures or screenshots. So still, even if this is under face-to-face learning, this can still be applied in the synchronous and asynchronous type in all subjects, not only for language or English and Filipino, but in all subjects. Another thing for the performance, interview, multimedia presentation, panel discussions, project making, role plays, speech delivery, storytelling, or reading. This can be submitted to the teacher as evidence under performance task by sending a recorded audio recorded debates, audio recorded interviews, and other forms of other ways of sending the output to the teacher so that the teacher may have will have the basis in giving the rating under performance tasks. Sir, under mathematics, we have face-to-face learning, data recording, analysis, geometric and statistical analysis, graph charts or maps, problem sets, surveys, etc. Under products, we have diagrams, mathematical investigatory projects, models making models of geometric figures, number presentation, and portfolio considered products. And under performance tasks, constructing graphs from service, conducted multimedia presentation, outdoor math probability, experiments, problem posing, reasoning and proof through recitations, using multi-manipulatives to show math concepts and solve problems, using measuring tools and devices. These are underperformance in math. But again, I have to clarify that there are written outputs, strategies, or assessment tools used in math, which are also true or applicable in other subjects. Same thing as in the performance task in under math subject, which are also applied or which can be applied in all other subjects. Under science, face-to-face learning, we have laboratory reports. We have concept maps, data recording and analysis. We have products, investigatory projects, models and diagrams, constructions. And under performance tasks, designing and implementation of action plans, debates, designing various models, doing scientific investigations, laboratory activities. These are all under assessment tools which are also applicable or which can be used also in other subjects. When we go back to normal after the pandemic, we can use these strategies in toto. It's because no reason for us to have the online class. I believe this written outputs, products, and performance tasks under face-to-face learning are self-explanatory. So we need to proceed to the learning modality on online. Online is assessment tools, online and the offline. Really forward, sir. Online distance learning. Under languages, we have blog post on a book, article review, essay submitted through email or e-journal, electronic mail writing, reaction, reflection paper submitted through email, PDF reports. These are considered written outputs under languages. And for their products, they can have the YouTube videos, case studies established or published through Adobe Acrobat, and collage compositions submitted through email, blog on literary analysis, multimedia productions, upload in Facebook and YouTube, portfolios, research project published in a journal, story poem writing, narrated through PowerPoint presentations. So all these are the products. And this is through the use of electronics and internet connections. For the performance task under online distance learning, online debates can be done. If it is on the offline, debates can also be used. A recorded debate can be submitted can be recorded and submitted to the teacher concerned. For the performance tasks under online interviews, teacher can do it if you have, I think we only have very few online learners, but still you have to know this, which of the given tool can be applied in your class, in your online class. Like for example, the panel discussion under number 4. Panel discussions via Zoom or Google Meet. You can have, you can design an assessment of knowledge using debate or panel discussion. You can have a recorded monologue played during your discussion. Speech delivery via Zoom or storytelling reading via Zoom and Google Meet. All of these are possible and can be immediately rated under performance tasks while you are conducting classes online. For the written, for the products, many things can be, there are many things that can be done by our students. They are already good in recording videos, making videos and upload it through YouTube. And actually, as I know in YouTube uploading of videos, students can also have income from this when viewers will reach the number required by YouTube, wherein it can be, or they can receive a certain amount based on the number of viewers of their videos. So it's not only a product for each subject, but there could be another product for income of the students who will make videos and upload it to YouTube. For the PDF reports, we have apps in in YouTube or internet, wherein you can download the app and, like for example, downloader, YouTube downloader, and other apps that are available online. It can be downloaded and then make use of this. Example sa ilang blog post, pwede sila mag-vlog, then i-post nila, then earn an income, have an income through this. Under online distance learning language, subject in here, the English and mathematics. They can have a journal, under written outputs, recording and analysis using Google Forms. Graphs, charts, or maps using Microsoft Excel or Google Sheets. Problem set submitted via email service using Google Forms. And under performance tasks, constructing graphs through MS Word, Microsoft Word, or Excel from surveys conducted. Multimedia presentations, probability experiments, problem posing, reasoning and proof through recitation during online classes. Video presentation using manipulatives to show math concepts and solve problems. Or video demonstration using measuring tools or devices. These are under math, but it doesn't mean that it is only applicable for math, but it's applicable in all subjects. Sir. Okay. Under science and other subjects, science, math, MAPI, TLE, if you notice, the written outputs and performance based are almost the same. But there are other strategies or assessment tools summative assessment tools which are not uh, true or which cannot be used in MAPE but can be used in math. There are also strategies or assessment tools which can be used in languages but cannot be used in science. Like for example, for um, essay it is usually used in languages. Uh, okay, for essay as written output, it is I think it's applicable to all subjects or in all subjects. For the multimedia presentation or project making under performance sa languages. In languages, interview, pwede kayo siya sa languages, no? But interview format, seldom magamit tingali ang interview, but it's related to, it could be related to survey or um, a, a, a project construction, for example, of a building, pwede siguro. But not common. It is not usually used. It cannot be usually used or it cannot be always used in math. For the construction of graphs from surveys conducted, the multimedia presentation, outdoor math probability experiments, problem posing, reasoning, and proof, using manipulatives to how math concepts or how problems are solved. These are in math and the performance based. But the multimedia presentation can also be applicable. It's also applicable in all subjects. Problem posing, reasoning, and proof. It is also applicable in other subjects. Portfolio as product is always present in all the subjects. We always have the portfolio. And this portfolio is usually submitted or required by the teacher to be submitted by the students for their output. It could be under written outputs or performance based. Again, these are true under digital, printed module, TVBI, or RBI, and homeschooling. All these assessment tools can be used in all learning modalities, whether digital offline or online, TVBI or RBI, or homeschooling. Kini nga mga gisgutan nato magamit kaayo dito sa tanan nga mga learning modalities. Now let's come to the rubric. We already know that a rubric is a learning and assessment tool. Learning and assessment tool that is used to evaluate written outputs, products, or performance-based tasks. It is a scoring guide that articulates the expectations and describes the levels of quality expected from a learner. In our rubric, we should not forget that the criteria, its criterion should have description. In here, we have rubrics contain 4 essential features. The first feature is a task description or a descriptive title of the task students are expected to produce or perform. So there should be something that would clarify what is the task and how they are going to realize the task or perform the task. And the second feature, rubric could be or should be a scale scale, when we speak of scale, it could be 10 or 1 to 10, or as a reverse of 1 to 10, 10 to 1, or 1 to 5 with a rating of 1 as the highest and 5 as the lowest, or it could be 5 to 1, wherein we consider 5 as the highest and 1 as the lowest. It all depends on the teacher who made the rubrics. But be sure that your rubrics should meet the expectations, and it is also aligned with the competencies or the MLC or MELC, uh, most essential learning competencies. Because in every competency, there are objectives or skills to be developed. And this scoring scale or a scoring under rubric, on our rubrics should be aligned with what is expected to be learned or to be performed or to be mastered by our students. Example in here, exceed expectations, meets expectations, doesn't meet expectations. If there are three, then it could be 3 as the highest and 1 as the lowest. If we only have three description or three description of the criteria, then 3 as the highest or 1 as the highest, depending on the teacher orientation for the students on the criteria being used. Components or criteria. Students are to attend to in completing the assignment or tasks. Types of skills, knowledge, etc. You should include what skills are to be developed, what knowledge that should be learned by the students under this third feature. Number four feature, description of the performance quality. Description, which includes, we call it as descriptor. Descriptor, which has to be included in our criteria and to be explained to our students based on the criteria we presented or we discussed, online or asynchronous or synchronous. And for each rubric, we have to remember that our rubric can be analytic and holistic. When we say analytic, it includes analysis, critical thinking of or for the students. It is also be holistic. Holistic, when you say it could be part or a whole lesson discussion or activities. Each part of our discussion form the whole thing that we want to happen. Like for example, in every step in the mathematics problem solving, there is always, you should consider that there are students who cannot answer the whole thing correctly, but the student is correct in a certain step. For example, step 1, step 2, correct. But in the final answer, it is not correct. We have to consider that. It should not be considered wrong. Tanan. Kaya tungod kay wala kaabot sa eksaktong answer. It could form part or the whole thing or the given test could be partly correct because step 1 and 2 are correct, but the whole thing should not be invalidated. It's holistic. Wherein it is also true in other subjects, in science and also in English or languages, tinuod ni nga mahitabo. for example, the use of connectors when students are required to separate the sentences. Nya doon ay sentence nga gi-separate niya pero masabot na. You have to consider nga this sentence or answer by a certain student is or can be considered partly correct but not invalidate the whole thing. An analytic rubric articulates different dimensions of performance and provides ratings for each criterion or dimension. A holistic rubric describes the overall characteristics of a performance and provides a single score. In developing a rubric, it should be emphasized the higher points could be given for a certain level of mastery depending on the flexibility of the question. This is what I mentioned a while ago, that when you give points on a certain criterion, for example, a certain criterion is only good for 5 points, and the next criterion is 5, and it has a total of, for example, 20. That's the purpose of our rubrics, holistic. It kanang tanan nag-involve o naglangkob sa mastery sa bata. Mastery or level of mastery can be identified if you give the perfect score, then that student have already mastered or learned the competency that we want them to learn in a certain competency of a certain subject. So we should not forget that in any rubric, you need to consider our students. Dili sila perfect nga bata, dili sila mga bata nga ino nato gifted tanan. So we have to be lenient, no? We should not invalidate answers sa mga bata abi kay nakita nato nga dili haom sa atong gustong may tabo, dili gid nato dawaton. Pero dili na inana nga dili nato dawaton abi kay wala mo haom sa atong gustong answer. Just review, no? Review the criteria before you employ or apply the criteria of the rubrics you have. Again, para sa mga teachers tanan, dili nato i-consider nga ang bata tanan pod makahibalo. Maybe wala sila makasabot sa tanan but doon na sila nakatunan. So in all the rubrics or the criteria of the rubrics we prepared should consider the different level of understanding sa atong mga bata, and it should be analytic or holistic. Para sa orakyeta, bata ang bida. That's why we need to be considerate. Understand that our students have their own weaknesses. We also have their strength. Sama po nato, doon na tayo kagalingon nga strength, doon na po tayo weaknesses. Because nobody is perfect, and ako encourage nga ang tanan should be open for corrections, suggestions, so that by doing that, we will be able to improve as a person, improve our skills and knowledge. Kay dili lang, but dili ta kontrabida. Kita mo ang bida para sa mga bata. Ang bata mo yung bida. Mas bida ang teacher. Daghang salamat.
Thank you so much, Sir Dusinio, for giving us some bits of information on how are we going to provide uh, better tasks and activities for our students in this COVID-19 situation. Now, To sum up, thank you so much to our speakers for this morning on the session 2, Ma'am Esther A. Omongos, Ma'am Luella M. Alo, Ma'am Nicanora C. Limpahan, and Mr. Dosinio B. Dagandan. Now, if you have questions regarding the DepEd Order number 31, please feel free to type in your questions on the chat box so that I will read it for you. Okay, so I believe that there are some uh, subjects which are not presented. It's because these are available in the annexes of the DepEd Order number 31. Feel free to download it on our official website, deped.gov.ph. DepEd Order number 31. You have there some of the suggested activities for our written tasks and our product performances. Okay, if you have some questions, feel free to ask. Will be acknowledged, or you may ask directly. I'm going to allow you to unmute your microphone. Don't we have any questions regarding the grades, computation? I think there are no more questions or clarifications. Basig na yung mga uh, kalibog. Again, let us always remember for this school year, we don't have the examinations. What we will only include in our grade computation are written works and performance tasks. Okay, Sir David, you're welcome.
Sir Rani,
Yes,
good
sir.
morning.
Good
Kani
morning.
ba about sa DO, kani bang sa DO number 8 na bitaw sa effectivity na yun rin nga DO number 8 series of 2015 policy guidelines on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic program is still be in effect, but its provision inconsistent with their guidelines are supposed suspended for the upcoming school year. So sa grading system na to si Rani, kato itong gi-present na ni Ma'am Easter mo na to atong gamiton.
Yes, sir.
So
But there
dili
are
katong
some provisions
daan na to
there. There are some provisions there nga dili man gud nato ma-apply for this school year. So ang
okay si
DepEd
Rani.
Order number 31 is only designed for this school year. Hopefully. Kay og kung magpadayon ang pandemic until next year, na gamiton gyapon ni siya nga DepEd Order. Nevertheless,
Okay
when
sir.
we will go back to the normal, then proceed. We will still use the DepEd Order,
Number 8.
DepEd Order number 8, Series 2015.
Okay, sige. Salamat kay si Rani. Ma'am A, salamat.
Okay, you're welcome. So are there some questions? You can address it directly to our speakers. I think silence means no. Okay, let's have some break. Okay, let's have some lunch break first, and we will be back at 1 o'clock in the afternoon with the following topics: DM 268, 287, and 289. Okay, you may stay tuned. You may just stay for our platform. Okay, that's all for now for this morning. Thank you so much. A round of applause to our speakers this morning. Ma'am Esther A. Omongos, Ma'am Luella M. Alo, Ma'am Nicanora C. Limpahan, and Sir Dusinio B. Gagandan. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So,
Happy lunch.
You Lord of
lunch everyone.
Science.
Happy lunch,
See you
everyone.
later.
Happy lunch,
Mga
everyone.
unta na isud andire.
Run before we will kanang exit by this afternoon. May mga reminders na to. Lunch na ta.
Ani otso na.
Ako kay tingog.
Sumulif na me.
May nagpaibog si Luella.
To leave,
Leave na mi, sir.
Rani.
Leave na me.
Leave, sir. Then balik. Yes, sir.
Kaya mag-delay mo muli. Pwede rasa daw mo join mo niya. No?
May libre lunch.
Mag-virtual lunch lang sa o mag-virtual snacks. Hello. Virtual lunch and virtual snacks.
Ay, Mamister. Mamister,
Hello.
saglit ka. Pansinas ako.
Where are you, man? Ma'am?
Ma'am, naami diri, ma'am, oh. Naami diri, ma'am. Kinsa to, ma'am?
Ma'am LV.
Kailan ka na, ma'am?
LV.
Si Ma'am LB. Salamat, ma'am. Bye-bye, ma'am.
Bye-bye. Sige.
Inom sa ka wine glass.
Hello, wow, si Ma'am Alo, the wine glass.
Napod ni
Ma'am Alo, namiya ko kaya nangin mo ang kuwan diha, oy. Giimnan.
Aman silang Ma'am Joy. Ma'am Joy, Ma'am Pareho. Mas Ma'am Pareho. Embotado. Naunat ka. Ano ka po kung mag-iprem? Sana, i-iprem to go to di naghan. Magsara din eh. Ano na mag-isa?
Ayaw na pag-atag sa... Ano mo kung lagi ko yung rice ni? Iba ito mo ko ganina. Hindi, ako lang ano ito mahal sa ako.
Hey, ikaw pa Diyos. That's your kung ano English.
Malitagay ka na mo kayo reflection.
Basa na advance kay Bono, nana mo kay mga
Wala pa rin po kaning apel atong kang liwagon. Saan pag di ka magbasa?
wala
May
ka
apel ka
apil katong hindi ta ka na ba nang dana ka nako the virtual mo.
Oh.
Dawa ko kapil to.
Hadi ka to.
Dito ko sa work from home ko, dawa ko kabalo, ako why naka-inform na ko lain.
Kuan mo. Wala ka kasulda.
Lagi ko span.
Kuan mo.
Bigawas nga wako sa
Late naman ko to sila nag-inform. Nag-inform sa morning mo. Oh. I know. The other day, then nakakuha ko, nag-wala kayo ko kay ako magong gi-open ang laptop sa balay, then ka-open po kong cellphone sa sakyanan kay kanang gihatod mo ko sa kong anak ato.
ang imong attendance to na apil tingali ko, mo ako natawag. Kaya nga naman, duha yung attendance, apil ko ato.
Na wala man tingalan to isa.
Sakto to, mo to.
Mo sa mo ano lang.
Kaya nung guys good ka virtual meeting, ako ko ano eh.
Okay, og naminaw ka tong kang, di ba ko nakapaminaw ka tong kuan
Ah.
na pod kanang ana
Diretso na po.
kuan ra kanang kaya.
Magkuka pa minaw ko.
Work from home.
Adi pa dito mo.
Dapat isa ko breast siya. Mayroon po kay
Okay, ano? Di ba ka na makaset mga examples.
mayroon po kay ano, di ka mahumag na eh.
Pero ba, ready na ba ang ato ang i-discuss? Di na kita mabuha mo mga una on the spot.
Ano sa nani?
Nagbuha pa ka niya, sir.
Na mo kay ka sa discuss. Ay mi buday kit no na. Dai mo sa sir, libre.
Ano?
Lagay ko ano rin.
Kaon na sir. Kung kaon mo ko ito.
Dito lang palong-palong, wala. Ato to sa ito na, magawat mo sa anang dua. Wala ko mo tulo. Ganun ito. Then ako nito mo dito. Katatuan na pong tulong ka.